right, guys, welcome aboard in 14-Day Pilot Flight Academy. I'm Gamagiori, and today we're going to discuss about the easiest way to become or the easiest way to pass FAA instrument check right. Okay, so while waiting the other audience, let me prepare several things, including the new ACS 2018 from the FAA. All right, so I have printed and this is the ACS for June 2018. As you know, FAA Checkride is all about the ACS. You should understand what the ACS, how the ACS work, and you want to comply with the ACS, of course, because all examiners will come to you and ask you whether you're familiar with the ACS or not. So today, the easiest way to pass the instrument checkride is you follow the ACS because you don't need to shop around and asking your friends and feel very struggle to find what kind of questions that the examiner will ask you. Normally, some examiner will give you some handout because they want you to study special emphasis area. They want you to learn about specific subject that they're really big on. Let's say once I got my instrument, my examiner asked me to prepare more on the icing and the systems. But it was like several years ago. There was no ACS, it was only PTS. It's practical test standard. It's quite different, and the new ACS more on the competent base. I mean, like scenario base. The examiner will give you a lot of scenario based questions, and this will make you think. Okay, it's not just memorizing the stuff, but they expect you to correlate all your knowledge to resolve the problem. Okay, now the ACS 2018, uh, as you know that the check route will consist two parts. The first is the oral exam and the other one is the flight check. So we're talking about how we pass the oral exam easily. Okay, after you watch this video, you will get a better idea how to prepare yourself. Okay, most of our students in 14-day pilot flight academy, they do accelerated training in 10 days. So there will be a secret to prepare people ready for the oral exam of the FA test, okay, especially when they go for the instrument. So before we talk about ACS, I have several books here. So if you're looking for the books for your reference, the FAA recommend you to own this, to use this book. Okay, this is FAA standard. It's published by U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Aviation Administration, and reproduced by ASA. Okay, so this is about Instrument Procedures Handbook, and the other one is Flying Handbook. That's two. Or if you like Jeppesen, this is the newest Jeppesen instrument commercial. The newest is Boeing company. I own the old version. I bought it in 2005. All right. Okay. So you can choose between FAA publish or you can choose Jeppesen. It's up to you. And really up to you guys. And the other one is I really love this. It's from Rod Makedos. Okay. This is not necessary. You need to read all the books. Okay. But if you have to choose the book, you can choose several from this. And also the ASA, it has instrument flight manual by William Kirshner. This also great stuff to study. But normally I suggest you to buy this book after you get instrument rating to study more and more regarding instrument rating. Okay. Okay, right. The other things that help you, I got plenty stuff here, is this, the CX3 calculator. This is the flat computer. I don't use the CX2 anymore because this is really great product. It has uh lights. It's not just like old one. Okay. Yeah, study buddy on Android is fine, but that's for your knowledge test. It's not for your oral exam. Okay, and this really great stuff. I really love how to use this. It's like LCD. It's $100. Okay, I recommend you to own this and bring this on your flight because you will need to calculate the stuff like diversion, and the examiner will give you several problems. And the best tips is, as you know, in the FAA, you have approach plate, right? You can buy approach plate, and you got this legend and some tables. A lot of useful legend here because all of you check right. They will gonna ask you about the approach plate. Now, as a certified flight instructor instrument, okay, I keep studying myself. The problem is I always forgetting. People always forgetting. It's not especially me, right? So if you want to keep remembering, I laminate this and I bring this anywhere I go. Everywhere, every time when I forget things, I just open it and study it. I even always bring this every time I fly. Okay. Uh, okay. So every time I fly, I always bring this with me, and lot of information, all the legends, what the legend in approach plate, and you will also have, what's this, abbreviations, all of that here, approach slide system, and then this table. This table is about what is the circling category. Cat A is 1.3, Cat B 1.5, Cat C is 1.7. We care about 1.3, but when I fly, the citation is a jet. It's depend. It could be category B, but if you fly 737, it could be category C or D. It depends on your weight and your approach speed, right? So always bring this. This will help you on your check ride. Good. So we have all the books. I really recommend. Okay. Now the examination, the oral exam will be like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Actually, it's totally depend on your DPE. If you got a fair DPE and straightforward DPE, as long as you have a pretty good score on your knowledge test, he knows too because you just instrument rating pilot, the brand new instrument rating that um based on whatever in the ACS. Okay, as you know, you open the ACS, there are several things here. First is the knowledge, the second is the risk management, and the other one is skills. All right, the other one is skills. So in this place, you know that let's say we take about the pre-flight preparation, open the pre-flight preparation. Okay, there are skills here. The applicant demonstrate the ability to apply requirements to act as a pilot in command under instrument flight rules in a scenario given by the evaluator. So the problem is we don't know what kind of scenario that the evaluator will give it to you. But we do have several lists or the highest possibility that the examiner will give it to you. That's why the most important part is you know the examiner, okay? That we always prepare the students to meet any examiner in the world, especially in the FAA. I mean, I'm sorry, but any examiner will go through the ACS, and you need to be able to see to show them that you are capable as pilot in command, you understand your stuff, and you can answer the scenario. That's the first thing. That's why a lot of people they don't read about this, including me. When I went on my check ride, my examiner is always asked me, I just want to make sure that you're familiar with the ACS, and I said yes. But I really realized that what he was talking about is you want to see whether I know on every segment here there's objective knowledge, and that's the secret, guys. Believe me. A lot of people go to the check ride, they don't even know about the ACS. Okay, because their instructor they don't talk about the ACS. But if you really understand about this, you will frame the examiner questions, because the different between the other exam one examiner and the other examiner is their scenario. But the question is pretty much the same. Why? Let's talk about the pre-flight preparation. Okay, if you have the ACS, you can open it. The knowledge you should know. Okay, you should know and privileges, limitations, and the newest ACS is including part 68, the basic math privileges and limitations. So the basic math means that you know that without the third class, if you cannot afford the third class, you can get the basic math. Okay, if you remember the basic math, there are limitations. The first is you can remember 666 stuff. So the stake is you cannot fly the airplane more than 6,000 pounds, and then has the passenger more than 6 packs. Okay, that kind of stuff. That's one of the knowledge part. Okay, and then the privilege and limitation. As instrument rating pilot, you should understand what is your privilege, what's your limitations, because all examiner will drill you about that. I can guarantee you, no matter who is the examiner, okay, the first question will be, all right, I am your friend, okay, I'm your friend, and you are brand new instrument rated pilot. As instrument rated pilot, I want you to take me to fly today to anywhere based on your flight plan, because before the checkride, as you know, you already make your flight plan. Like in your private pilot, you already done it. Okay, so now the examiner will ask you like that, and now it's I see the weather. The weather is IMC, and I want to know, can we go fly? And if we go fly, what kind of preparation, and whether you are current as instrument rating pilot or whether you're proficient as instrument rating pilot. So that will be the first question. If you go to any examiner in the world, especially FAA examiner, I mean, okay, they will ask you exactly that question. Okay, the problem is there are 4 items here in risk management. The failure to distinguish proficiency versus currency, failure to set personal minimums, okay, and failure to ensure fitness of flight, and psychological factors that might affect the pilot's ability to fly under instrument condition, like spatial disorientation, maybe uh, you're tired, you're stressed, and because you know when you stress, you're tired, you will get into faster to get hypoxia, and then the symptoms is like impaired judgment and late response, less awareness, then that will lead you to spatial disorientation. Then, as you know, you can see at this point, you have to understand the aeromedical factor and you have to connect all the dots. Okay, that's the ACS. So that's the fail item. If you open the ACS and you take a look to the risk management, that is the fail item. If you cannot comply or you fail to distinguish proficiency versus currency, I'll give you an example. So today you are instrument rating pilot, right? You're gonna fly. You just got your instrument rating pilot like 2 months before, and you're really busy. You cannot fly instrument, or maybe you're traveling out of the town, or you are not staying in United States, or maybe now you are graduated from FAA school and then you're coming back to your country, and you have a chance to coming back to States, and you're gonna fly there. Okay, let's say you're gonna fly there. So it has been a while, all right? It has been a while since your last time fly instrument under the fuel limiting device with the instructor or in the real IMC. That's a problem. Now the examiner will gonna ask you, you're not flying for the last 2 months and you're still current, of course, because the grace period and all that stuff, like the currency of the instrument is takes 6 months, right? Then you'll still current. Now you're gonna fly. He will give you a trap. Would you fly with me? So legally, all right, legally, you are current, of course, because the last time you got your instrument, okay, is 6 months ago, okay, but now it's 2 months, so it means you're current. The problem is, are you proficient? Some examiner, they really doesn't like if you say that, okay, I'll just take the key and fly with you, even though the weather is IMC. I'm instrument rating pilot. I don't care. Legally, I can fly inside the cloud. So why I don't fly with you? Okay. And the problem, guys, there are a lot of difference between flying instrument under VFR condition and your put your fuel limiting device with you, or you're flying real IMC. It's really different because when you see all the window or your windshield whites, okay, and then rain and you're alone, traffic is busy, and the ATC asks you to do some holding, it's really tough. It's tough day. That's why even though I already double I, okay, so I have double N, and I don't want to fly alone, okay? I don't want to fly alone when there's IMC. I always ask my friend, more senior than me and more current and more proficient, of course, to take me fly. I want to fly under a real IMC. So can you fly with me? Because that's my personal minimum. I don't want to die. I can fly that. I know how to fly it. I fly jet. When you fly the jet, you always fly instrument. Okay, no matter what the weather is, you always fly the primary flight display, flight director, and all that stuff. But the problem is you're flying single engine or you fly alone. I mean, single pilot. All right. All the pressures come to you. You're the pilot in command, and the proficiency is the huge thing. As you remember, there are several hazardous pilot attitude, okay, like macho, infernability, resignation, anti-authority, something, all of that um, hazardous pilot attitude. If you have macho, then you think that you can fly um, when the IMC and you are not proficient. Okay, you may take the plane, you legally can fly. The examiner will really unhappy with that, and he will try to make you realize. So, do you think that you're proficient? You are not flying for several times, okay? The best way to answer that is you know about the personal minimum, because here the failure to set personal minimums, that's the biggest part of your failure. He doesn't care whether you know all the knowledge part, but if on the oral exam you cannot answer that properly, that you really know, understand about what is the personal minimum, your proficiency versus the currency, he will never pass you, and he will fail you right away. So based on this explanation, you know at least the basic concept. The easiest way to pass instrument check right is not about memorizing things, okay, it's about understanding. And it's back to you guys, you're the pilot in command, all right? It's back to you whether what you're going to do if there's a situation. So when you learn something during your trip to become instrument rating pilot, I always teach my students, always imagine that you are flying, then you have a situation, what kind of solution that you gonna take, okay? So all the materials, all the theory, you can study it, you can memorize it, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't solve the problems, all right? Um, that's the problem, okay? If you can solve the problem with your theory, with your knowledge, so your knowledge doesn't mean anything, right? Now, the last part to pass the oral easily, as you know, the second part is the pre-flight, the B section, the task B is weather information. The instrument rating is really big on the weather because, even though you can fly inside the clouds, but the problem is if there's a visible moisture and the temperature is less than zero, maybe +7 to -20, okay, there will be a icing risk. And that's the biggest enemy of instrument rating pilot. To prepare you, you just go line by line. So if you want to become a good pilot in your Checkride, make sure that you understand how to use this. So in the knowledge, atmospheric composition and stability. What is the stable air, unstable air? Uh, what makes unstable air? Okay, let's say it's high pressure and everything. So you should know that. And the other one is wind, crosswind, tailwind, wind shear, mountain wave. What is the weight? Or what is the wind if you fly near to the ridge? Okay, there will be a downdraft because the ridge brings, I mean, from the high ridge brings down the wind, right? So temperature, moisture, precipitation, clouds. Trust me, the examiner, I guarantee you, he will pick up at least, okay, there will be a number here. At least three of the condition listed in K3A to K3K. So you don't have to ask your friend what the examiner gonna ask, or you may be nervous. Everything is stated here. The examiner cannot ask you more than whatever stated in the ACS. So the best way to prepare is you know that they will pick up three of 11 lists here. So the easiest way to do that is to prepare all of them. Okay, you don't have to be like expert weather or like the girls in the TV who bring up the presentation of the weather. No, what you need is you know the general concept and how to use that information to your flight. Of course, right? When you pick up the weather report, the weather briefing, you want to see whether my en route, my arrival at that time, what kind of the weather and what's the pressure. Maybe you're not flying like an hour. Maybe you fly from California, you fly to Oshkosh. You're gonna have Oshkosh show. A lot of people fly into Oshkosh, so it's about like maybe 1,000 miles flight. The weather can change, especially when you fly in the mainland. I mean, the middle north of America, around that Texas. Adverse weather comes, then you have to show that you understand all of that stuff. You will never understand, correlate all that weather information for your flight if you don't cover this. Okay, that's why I really recommend you to go through line by line turbulence cloud and find on the books. Let's say we're gonna talk about the clouds. You have to know what kind of clouds: low clouds, middle clouds, and high clouds. And what the favorite question is, what is the cumulonimbus and how it developed? Okay, the cumulus states, and then the major states and the dissipating states. Which one is the most danger? Okay, of course that the major states, because there's updraft and downdraft at the same time, and that friction causes a thunderstorm, lightning. Okay, and then the microburst will give you 6,000 feet per minute downdraft stuff. So that's the thing examiner want to see whether you understand or not. All right, guys. That's several tips I can share to you. More of the instrument preparation for the oral. I can help you on that. Okay, there's a program we call that a pass oral exam program. We guarantee you can 100% success on your oral exam the first shot. Okay, you can go to www.14day Pilot Flight Academy. All right, you can go there and call us or text us. You can click that and directly talk with our flight instructor. Then you will get the idea what kind of that program, and we guarantee no matter you go to any examiner on United States, as long as they follow the ACS, we're gonna help you to pass it. Okay, because we have a lot of students enjoy this program. It's online basis, and before you go for the check ride, we will go through everything with you online like this. We use the webinar, and there's a recording on that, and we can do a private consultation. Then I guarantee you're gonna make it. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to this YouTube and share to your friend. Hopefully, you can get your instrument rating soon. Have a good day. Fly safe. Bye.